welcome back. Time for this week's Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan of CapitolBeatOK.com. Pat, Governor Fallin has set a special session for September 3rd. How long is the legislature going to meet, and what is this going to cost?
Well, Senator Burrage of Claremore, the Democratic leader in the Senate, is hollering because he's estimating it'll cost $250,000. It will cost $30,000 a day. That's kind of a given.
That's when you add Senate and House together.
Yes, Senate and House, the cost of having the staff come in for those days, the per diem, mileage, so forth. Well, anyway, it's interesting because they're hoping to get done in 4 or 5 days, and the Oklahoman actually had an editorial saying, let's get done in 5 days. Of course, the subject is lawsuit reform, and that's kind of complex. And I probably, on the cost side, lean towards Senator Burrage's view that could be $250,000 because I don't see how they get done. Maybe they'll surprise me, in just that a little bit of amount of time. I think it'll be 6 to 8 days. There was a temporary glitch because there was a typo, 57 became 75 in citing a constitutional provision or vice versa. Anyway, that slowed things down a little bit, but now it's definitely set for September 3rd. Speaker Shannon and Senator Bingman, the leader of the Senate, they are both for the special session in order to fix that lawsuit reform measure that the state Supreme Court tossed out. Burrage is very critical, and he said, but if we got to do it, let's add Insure Oklahoma, which, as you remember, and viewers will remember, is in crisis because of the Obamacare or Affordable Care Act provisions. So in any case, we will have a special session in September. The governor did not extend it to Insure Oklahoma, so it'll be limited to the issue of lawsuit reform, and I'll be there for just about every minute of it, keeping an eye on things.
All right. You studied an official federal report that documents overpayments in the food stamp program. Tell us about what you reported for watchdog.org on that.
Yeah, thanks for asking. It's a very it's kind of a tough issue because on the one hand, you want people that need help to have help. The problem is that there's documented in the federal report, this is not me, $29,413,913 in overpayments.
In Oklahoma?
In Oklahoma alone. There was $7,800 in underpayments. The total error rate for Oklahoma in issuance of food stamps is almost 5%. This is in a national program that's $71 billion and has an error rate of 3.42%. Overpayment or underpayment, and overpayment is much more of a problem than underpayment. So I plan to ask state officials if there's any methodology for recovering some of that money, because apparently there is, but it's not often exercised. So we'll have a follow-up later, but that's the bottom line. It's a pretty hefty sum, and the old criticism is if you can get that kind of thing right, then you have the resources available to take care of people that do need the help or use the money for something else. So stay tuned. We'll come back on that in a few weeks.
Okay. Also, why don't you update us on where we stand with the regional haze court case? This is where the EPA is trying to force states like Oklahoma, the utilities, to clean up the air, clean up the way they do energy.
Yeah, I'm not clear what Attorney General Pruitt's going to do next, but he remains critical of the 10th Circuit decision, and a lot of Oklahomans are citing, it was a 2-to-1 ruling in the 10th Circuit against Oklahoma, against letting Oklahoma develop its own plan, and in favor of the EPA rules, which are stringent. But there was a dissenting judge, and the judge, his dissent is being cited a lot. Now, the biggest development of the last few days, having said all that, was that the State Corporation Commission, which is known sometimes for having some pretty good disagreements among the 3 members, they were unanimous in denying to PSO pre-approval to pass on to consumers the cost of conversion away from those coal plants that are at the heart of this dispute. Patrice Douglas said that there was nothing but federal arm twisting. Bob Anthony said the EPA had overreached. Dana Murphy called it a usurpation. Bottom line, Corporation Commission united in saying you can't get pre-approval. You're going to have to come back before you can pass that on to consumers. So this is still a jump ball.
For now, it's good for consumers, though.
Yeah, it'll save some money for a while. In the long run, there will be some mechanism, if they make this conversion, for them to recover their costs.
All right, you can read more about these and other stories at CapitolBeatOK.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a good day.